Howdy YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Gunman Raw. So today we've got a flow coat on the bonnet of this Toyota Corolla and clear coat on the bumper as well. So I painted the rest of the car yesterday. The bumper wasn't actually here, so that's why I'm doing the bumper today. And the bonnet caught some bad solvent oil in it. It can happen. It can happen. It was a really hot day yesterday. I was like 50-50 whether or not I should even clear it yesterday. I was actually going to wait for the whole job and do it in the morning, but all in all, the bonnet did solvent oil on me. So here we are. The good side is that I get to flow coat the bonnet. I'm not complaining. And I just looked at this gun and I'm like, man, I love that Lotus. Haven't used it for ages, so I know it's always been a pretty popular spray gun on this channel whenever I use it. You can actually still see some of those the pinholes from the solvent foil. Basically what solvent foil is little air pockets inside the paint. So what I'm doing here is just doubling up on that first coat, just to make sure we fill them in. I found a new way to paint with this gun here too. So I always used to paint like tweak these settings and in and out and pressures and all that, and then I ended up realising that you don't need to. I found that out by accident, right? So I must have accidentally left the fan on full, which is something I never usually do on this gun. So I left it on full, and then I just started painting a job with it. And I'm like, man, this is kind of like spraying better than I've ever experienced at spraying before. And then I checked the settings and I'm like, man, the fan is full. Like, it actually looks a bit funny. Like, it looks top and bottom heavy, but it actually sprays okay. It slows it down a little bit, which is good. That was one of my criticisms of it. It was like nearly too fast. But yeah, like if I look at that on the side, the fan is like split in the middle. You've got like that dead zone in the middle. So yeah, ultimately, I mean, it's really good. 2-bar pressure, right? 2-bar, full fan, full fluid. Just like a development. I mean, you don't need to go on about that until the cows come home. It's the most easy way to set a spray gun up. It just seems second nature to me because that's how I'm used to setting most of my guns up. And it's like the unevenness like evens out over the panel, if that makes sense. Like over the however many passes you do, the slight unevenness sort of evens out over the, yeah. I guess that's what's happening. A few more nibs in that bonnet than what I would usually like, but the detailer did decide to poke his head in as I was painting this morning. I'm like, man, you don't have to come in the booth when I'm painting, please. He should know better than that. But you know what? He's the one that'll be de-knitting it, so who cares? You may notice I'm doing bonnet first and then coming back to the bonnet just to increase that flash off time. The clear coat that I'm using is LVC 131. Man, this clear is awesome. I love it. It's just like standoff clear. It goes on nice and smooth and flows out. Like, it doesn't flow out too much actually, but it goes on nice and flat. But yeah, it'll flow a little bit. And it dries nice. It's nice to polish. It's just really, really good clear, man. It's just a breath of fresh air, because I used to laugh at it, man. Like, PPG have so many clears, right? Even prior to releasing these two new clears, They had so many, but none of them were any good, you know? Like, they were all bad, in my opinion. So because of things like that, I got this reputation as a PPG hater. It's like, man, objectively, it's not that, like, their clears were bad, their base coat, they recommended to mix it at the wrong ratio, so that didn't dry. I always sort of liked their primers, I never really had an issue with their primers, but yeah. Now they've updated the base coat. Now I know how to use the base coat better. Now they've released new clears. As the evidence changes, the opinion changes. What else can you ask? It's just, it's not a nightmare using PPG anymore anyway. And in saying that, even prior to that, I made it work, right? Even prior to these new things coming out. 150, I reckon. And last thing you want is running out of clear halfway across the bonnet. Yeah, the Supernova does use a bit more clear. I'm actually noticing that. Maybe I'll turn that pressure down a little bit on this second coat. It's cool to be able to come out and mix more clear up while my respirator is still on though. I love working here. It's so good. Like this, man, I got here at 6:30. It's 8 o'clock now. Like, the time that I'm actually supposed to start work is 8 o'clock. But I've been here for like an hour and a half already. And that's by choice. But then I started doing that a few times, and I spoke to my boss, and he's just like, man, make the hours up, right? So if you come in early, you can go home early. So that's really cool. Especially in summer, it sort of makes sense to do that. You know, when you'd rather get in and get your paperwork done before it's too hot, right? And look, when it comes to winter, I'm probably not going to be wanting to be here at 6:30 in the morning. We'll see. Either way, man, it's just good to be happy at work and have, you know, a good crew, work in a good environment. Probably never been happier in my life. I'm pumping weights this morning too. I've already done 4 sets of 20 upright rows. This bonnet, man, it's going to be nice and flat. A few nibs in it, but you get that on the big job. Yeah, unfortunately, like the first time I painted it, there was like 2 nibs in it, but heaps of solvent foil. Now there's more nibs, but no solvent foil. And you know what? A few of those might just disappear after this banger. Slam one on. Man, that's actually not that bad at all. And that 131 clear, man, it is incredible. I love it. Look, this is part of the reason why I don't use the Supernova that often, because it just pumps through too much material. Look, like I said, I could probably lower that pressure a bit and rein it in a bit more, but hey, it's not as dirty as what I actually got. It's actually not that bad. Maybe a couple of those little ones they filled up on the second coat. I can't believe I want to sell this gun, but on the other hand, I've just bought a house. I haven't actually moved in yet, but I'm about to. And times are expensive, man. I need all the money I can get. I did say this was the gun that I was never going to sell because it's probably the best looking spray gun I've ever seen. The Lotus. Number 884. I'll give you a quick look over this job here. Have a look at that, guys. How glassy is that? actually is clean. I don't know what I was on about. I did see a few little ones in it, but they filled up. Like they may come back after a bake as good paint streaks. Like they'll come back as little ones, but how good's that, man? How's the flatness of the clear, man? You can't do that with 105, with the 136, with any of the other old PPG teeth, man. You can't do that. And that's why it pissed me off so much, because I knew that I was a better painter than the products were limiting me to, right? Like I know I've always been able to do this kind of finish, but when you've got these inferior products that are limiting you, you can only do so much, man. But I'm not limited by the clear anymore. Just have a look at that, man. It's incredible. Loves it. Absolutely loves it. Anyway, guys, we can cream over these bonnets all day. I don't know. You probably want to have another look, don't you? You know you want it. Woohoo! Yeah, baby. Let's go for a swim. It's nearly too good. Too good, man. I'm going to use that gun and that clear on Nick's respray, Nick's WRX. Rightio, guys. Until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out. Supernova. WS400 1.3 HD, baby.